Hello, everyone, once again, and welcome to episode 15 of season 2 of the Shadow Collective Star Wars podcast. Um, I know it's been a while, but we're back and ready to go. And I am here with my good friends as usual, Andy Beats
Hi.
and Swampgrass.
Hello.
And how you both doing?
Doing pretty awesome, bro.
I'm still looking for the cornerstone. Have you seen it?
Uh, no, I have not.
If I could find the cornerstone, we could do a lot of things in this world.
Excellent.
It'd be nice. Switch things up.
Make it just the way we see fit.
That's right. That's right.
All right. Yeah, like I said, it's been a little while, so excited to get back at it. There's definitely a few things we've missed. Definitely gonna cover that. And speaking of the cornerstone, last time we were going to broadcast, we were going to cover the Lego Star Wars series. We're gonna do it tonight. Why not?
Why not?
But first, let's get into the news. Unfortunately, since last time we did our podcast, we had some really bad news in that James Earl Jones, probably most well-known voice in the world, it unfortunately passed away. 93 years old. But whether you knew him as
lived a good life.
Absolutely. But whether you knew him as Darth Vader, Fasa, and the actual voice of CNN. I mean, he was everywhere. And I don't think there's anybody out there that ever had a bad thing to say about the man. A great human being overall. I know I'm sad to see him go. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, it's it's sad news, of course, but I mean, all the stuff that he's done over his career. I mean, so many great things. I mean, for me personally, it wasn't like Star Wars wasn't the first thing that I heard his voice from. It was from The Lion King for me when I was a kid, right? So, voicing Mustafa and Mustafa, no, Mufasa, Mustafa. Wow, I messed that up. Mufasa. Apparently, I was thinking about what's that movie there? The spy movie, Spy Who Shagged Me. Anyways, yeah. So I don't know. Yeah, no. I mean, actually I didn't know he was the voice of CNN. That's new to me. I didn't know that.
Yeah. He was the one. Whenever
Um,
he heard the "This is CNN," that was him.
yeah, I did not know that. So that's news to me. But yeah, Mufasa was my first hearing of his voice. Right, so it was, and then you're like, you find out, you see the man, you're like, man, that's his voice, and then he does it, and you're like, holy man, that's the deepest voice I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I mean, it's sad, but again, like, yeah, he had a like outstanding life, like so many iconic roles, so many movies he was in, so much, right? So I mean, it's sad, but you should also celebrate his life. Celebrate
Absolutely.
it, it's
Absolutely.
great.
Yeah. Yeah,
Good
that's
life.
something that I found during during the time that this news dropped. There was lots of like clips coming up on YouTube and Instagram all over the place about you know, shows that he did cameos in, all kinds of different fun things that he's done over the years and tributes to him and all kinds of awesome stuff. So pretty awesome to see that stuff for sure. Celebrate the guy's life like you guys are saying.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think for me, the first I mean, obviously, I think I always knew him as Darth Vader first, just because that's kind of where I grew up. But like the first time ever actually seeing him was, I still remember because just watching the movies and stuff with my father. My father's a huge Arnold Schwarzenegger fan, so anytime an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie came out, we were there to see it. And Conan the Barbarian.
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
yeah, that's the first time I ever saw them. Yeah, it's like, yeah, you start to put two and two together, and you start to realize the voice. And my father like nudged me, and he said, that's the guy who's Darth Vader." I'm like, wow, really? And it's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, that's an awesome movie too.
so yeah, it's like you look at him, and it's like you can't picture it at first, but then you now I can't think of it being anybody else. And I know they said moving forward he had given Lucasfilm permission to use his voice. So whatever, I don't know how well they'll make that work with the AI, but I know the AI has become very good. So I mean, I know as long as the future goes, if we ever see Darth Vader, we're never gonna have to worry about the voice being someone different. But yeah, like I said, I mean, I don't know what else really to say other than rest in peace and world lost a great great man and a great voice.
Great talent. Great talent. Yeah.
So
There's not much else to say. I think, yeah, that's you know.
yeah, it's enough to yeah. It's, um, going into a little bit more positive news.
I think I might be disconnecting here or something. I'm not hearing you guys.
Yeah, you were a little blotchy there.
Yeah.
Okay, I can hear you now.
Okay. Oh, there we go. Okay. So
Airplane flew over your house.
Yeah.
Anybody want to take on the next story, or do you want me to do them, or
What do we got here? Yeah, I'll take this
Okay.
one. All right. This is a story from Star Wars Newsnet. Ahsoka season 2 to begin filming summer 2025, according to Natasha Liu Bordizzo. Hopefully I pronounced that right. Natasha Liu Bordizzo. Sure.
Seems
There's been
right-ish.
what it right-ish.
Yeah.
All right, that's good. I mean, I'm good with ish. You know, I'm not. I don't strive to be perfect. There's been, there's been very little news about Ahsoka since the announcement that it was getting renewed for a second season, but now we finally know when filming will begin. I mean, now we finally. I mean, it's coming from a cast member, I guess, but I mean, it's not official, right? It's
well,
not really
I
official
think
yet.
I think it's become official since then.
Oh,
I
has
think
it?
I think
Okay.
they have verified it, but yeah, at the time it was
At this time, which was what was
maybe.
it? September 2nd. So this is a little far.
Yeah, like as
month and a half away.
like I said, some of the news is a little old, but I mean, we haven't been around for a while, so
So back on September 2nd, it was confirmed by Natasha that that second season will commence in the summer of 2025 via X. Her X. No, not hers. It was Mandoverse updates, I guess, but it wasn't on hers, I guess. Anyways,
well,
it was
they
on X.
looks like they source. I guess they were talking to her at DragonCon.
Dragon Con, yeah. So they must have, yeah, okay, they sourced it from there, okay. She also mentioned that it won't begin filming until after the Mandalorian and Grogu movie, which is pretty obvious, really, of course, considering that the Mandalorian and Grogu is filming right now and will likely wrap principal photography in the next couple months. So that was a month and a half ago, so it could be close to being wrapped up now.
I think it might. I don't know. Like I said, I'm trying to catch up on things
This
as we
is
go, but
yeah.
it's all silly. But I'm sorry.
This is yeah. This does tell us that we should expect Ahsoka season 2 to arrive a year later in summer 2026 as the earliest, or at the earliest. Big budget films and series like this usually release roughly a year after filming. The first season began shooting in 2022 of May and came out in August 2023. It seems likely that Lucasfilm will plan to release it relatively soon after The Mandalorian Grogu debut in theaters on May 26th, hoping to take advantage of the buzz generated by Star Wars' long-awaited return to the big screen, as we all are waiting for this one movie to come out. It also means we should start getting some answers to questions around season 2's story around that time. Hopefully, we get updates at the Star Wars celebration in Japan, like it's saying, which most likely we should, I would assume. I mean, yeah, there's a whole bunch of Star Wars stuff coming up, and Star Wars celebration is usually the greatest place to spill all, not all the beans, but give us some information on what's coming up. Maybe drop a trailer, teaser, it'd be great. While we can expect the story to follow Ahsoka and Sabine in Peridia, we should know who, if anyone, will be playing Baylan Skoll after Ray Stevenson's tragic passing. We might also find out if the season intends to continue the stories of Grand Admiral Thrawn and the Night Sisters, or even Ezra Bridger and Hera Syndulla.
That would be messed up if it didn't.
Well, I mean, but again, like it's like they were saying, we have to wait to see what the Mandalorian Grogu thing does. So I mean, I'm assuming, we're assuming Thrawn's going to be in that, right? We're assuming there's, I don't know how much of the Night Sister stuff. The Night Sister stuff might be left to the Ahsoka series. I think maybe Thrawn's dropping the Night Sisters off, and then Thrawn's going another way, or you know what I
mean? Maybe.
But again, yeah, we have to wait. We have to wait to see what happens with the Mandalorian Grogu movie for sure.
Yeah, it's hard to tell which way this is going to go. But I mean, when we don't know, it's just hard because, like you said, I mean, it would be hard. It would be hard to not at least see the Ezra Bridger Harrison Duel connection, because while I could see Thrawn being in the Mandalorian movie, I don't see a link where Ezra and Hera would fit in there so much. That being said, I could be 100% off base, and it's all in there, and we don't know. But
yeah, I think it potentially could be in there, because we do have the like Mando and Grogu are essentially working for the New Republic, or whatever it's called, and chasing down Imperial remnants in the Outer Rim. So it kind of like, that's what Hera and them are doing too. So it'd be, there's a good chance that could be a, linked together.
I feel like Ezra and Hera will be more likely seen in the movie, along with Grand Admiral Thrawn, but I don't expect to see Ahsoka or Sabine in the movie. That's what I think is going to happen.
Yeah, I don't see
just because they're split up, right? They're split up in those time. I don't know, future. I don't know, whatever that is.
And at this point, we still don't even know where Skeleton Crew.
You don't even know where they're.
You don't even know where Skeleton Crew. Because it's technically supposed to be
like.
I mean, they're saying it's in the same time period. Of course, it could be worlds away. Like I said, it could be completely off base, but I tend to think the whole idea of this Jude Law being a quote-unquote Jedi, I feel like he's going to have a link that's going to fit in there somewhere. don't know where, but somewhere.
Yeah, I remember we had that speculation that that he could be that one Sith character that he's not a Jedi at all and stuff like that. So yeah, we could definitely see many different outcomes from that, I would say.
Yeah.
What was his name? Like Jedi Master Joris or something? Jaris?
Jerusalem.
So
Oh
both,
yeah,
yeah.
so both, yeah.
So I mean, there could be that link, right? They're trying to bring if it might be a link with Thrawn, and
Yeah.
he could be part of the whole thing. But I don't see it being a big part of that movie. You know what I mean? Like,
He could
I
become the
mean, I
main
could be
villain.
wrong, but
Mm.
I mean, I could be wrong. It's true. Like, I
Yeah.
don't know. I mean, but I don't see them bringing in Grand Admiral Thrawn and him not being the main baddie. You know?
Yeah.
I think they've already said that he's pretty much the main baddie now for the Mandoverse.
Yeah, but even then, I mean, if you go back to the Heir to the Empire trilogy, I mean, Thrawn was the big baddie at the end of the day. Joseph Wilth was kind of like a secondary. So, I mean, obviously, but they were working together. So I could see it still working
Right.
in that sense.
Yep.
He doesn't necessarily have to be big bad.
Yeah. No. Absolutely. And again, I guess it's just we'll wait to see what happens with Skeleton Crew, and then yeah, the movie. But who knows? But yeah, for sure, I don't see Ahsoka and Sabine being in this. That's definitely going to be something separate.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see like maybe a scenario where Jude Law's character, does work for Thrawn, is this Jerus character, and then gets tired of Thrawn, takes him over, he's the main villain or something like that, things could happen.
Well, like I said, I mean, I'm interested to see where it all goes because at this point, I mean, just the thought of having some new stories to work with, where it all leads, that's another story. But right now, yeah,
I mean, the intrigue is there. I mean,
exactly. So, like I said, I'm just looking for this point. Um, yeah, let's move on to our next story here. Want to take it, Swamp? You want me to go through, or
Swamp, are we losing you again?
Did he miss us?
Like we're losing him again.
I think we did lose him. Yeah, we kind of lost him. All right, I'll take this story on until he gets back. All right, so this one is also courtesy of Star Wars Newsnet. Keep in mind the story does also date back to September, early September, so it is a little old. But at the same time, I haven't heard
Still
any.
Interesting.
I haven't heard any new news on it. So, but Disney was being sued over the use of Peter Cushing's image in Rogue One. And it says here, the London-based film company Tyburn Film Productions is suing Disney for using Peter Cushing's image in Rogue One. As reported by The Telegraph, the film company claims that the VFX recreation violates a contract that was made between the company and Peter Cushing before he died. Even though a high court judge said that he was far from persuaded that Tyburn Film Productions would win the case, the judge also said that it did need a full factual. The film company claims that its agreement with actor Peter Cushing gave the company the ability to veto any recreation of his image with the use of special effects. Apparently, Lucasfilm and Lunac Heavy Industries, the producer of the original Star Wars films, did not ask for permission from Tyburn when recreating the image of the actor. Lucasfilm and Lunac Heavy Industries state that they did not believe permission was needed because of the terms under his contract that go back to 1977. While Disney and Lucasfilm may not have asked for permission, they did reach an agreement with the executors of the Cushing estate, granting the estate a fee for use of his image. Carrie Fisher, who also appears in Rogue One as a digital recreation, also gave her permission to. She died less than 2 weeks after the release. Recreation of long dead actors with visual effects and AI has been a controversial topic as of late. Many believing the practice to be unethical.
Hey guys, I'm gonna restart my computer and come back.
Okay. Most recently, the film Alien Romulus came under some scrutiny for the use of Ian Holmes' image to recreate Holmes' android character. This also relates to SAG-AFTRA's discussion about whether or not film companies have the right to use actors like long after they have finished their work on the project. Technical difficulties.
It wouldn't be a Shadow Collective podcast without it. So,
but yeah,
there
it's
wasn't any.
it is us. It says here at the end that a date for the trial has not yet been set. Yeah, it sounds like there's a lot there.
Man,
it's tough because it sounds like it's a third party coming in. It does sound like at least Lucasfilm did their due diligence and going to Cushing's family and saying, "Can we use it?" And family did okay use of it, but yeah, where do you go from there? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know really where to go with this. I mean, I'm not a lawyer. I don't know where the law sits on these. I hope it is something that can be settled quickly and settled in a way that it won't make the possibility of these things harder in the future, if that makes sense.
I don't understand why it's like coming up now. Like after Rogue One's been out for quite a while now.
Yeah.
And like this is like everything that's wrong with Hollywood and social media and everything. Like all these things that come up years later just because they want to sue and because they found some sort of loophole or whatever it is. It's just it's such a load of garbage, like to be honest, in my opinion. But and also this is like this whole AI problem, you know what I mean? Like obviously AI or using AI and all this stuff is generating loads of issues with all kinds of everybody, you know, or not everybody, but like, you know, there's a lot of a lot of paperwork, a lot of stuff around this AI stuff that I don't know. They might have opened up a can of worms and now they won't be able to close it, you know,
I hear
with
you.
this AI thing.
I don't know. I have my own issues with AI, and I know that's a completely different conversation that we could sit here and talk about for hours on end. But without trying to go that deep into it, I know the ability. It gives us the ability to do a lot of things that we wouldn't have been able to do in the past by the maximum press.
Hello.
But at the same time, it kind of scares me at the same time in the sense that
Absolutely.
it can definitely take away from opportunities for other people to be able to do things, so to speak. I mean, as the future goes on, I mean, if I know I can always go back to Peter Cushing and I could pull up something of, I don't know, old Harrison Ford, old Mark Hamill, old images of Carrie Fisher, Alec Guinness. I could just sit there and use this AI and I could just remake a movie the way I want it, whenever I want it. I don't ever have to bring anybody new into Star Wars technically. And
Right. Yeah.
and you never know, the new characters could bring new characters, new people, new ideas. It I feel like AI is something that if put in the wrong hands and lazy hands, it could really ruin the franchise. It could ruin all franchises, really.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we have everybody's got their own opinion on the AI stuff, right? Like, it's not like it's completely bad, but like you're saying, like if it's put in the wrong, like late, like it's just a lazy way to do things. Like when they easily could have done like the work on prosthetics is crazy unreal nowadays, right? They could have easily done prosthetics for Peter Cushing's face and Carrie Fisher's face, uh, and done a better good job at it as well. Like I don't know, like and then
I
you kind
think
of like skip over this kind of all these being sued by these companies or sued by whatever. Like I don't know.
I think easily though is a little bit of an overstatement. Like, yes, they have the technology now, but it's also very, very expensive too, right? To make these prosthetics and stuff compared to CGI, whatever.
I get it. I
Yeah.
understand, right? But to me, a good movie, visually, I don't. I'm not big. I don't want to see like I would rather see. I'm old school. I'd rather see prop work. I'd rather see these people putting the hard work in. And I'm not saying CGI artists are not hard workers at all. Like they probably it's probably months and months and months and like whatever to do stuff. But I feel like the further we go in the future with movies, it just becomes less and less of a thing where um, prosthetic artists or prop art is going to be gone because it's just going to be a lot cheaper for CGI to. And I get it, but I mean, if you got money like Star Wars has got money, why not make it look good?
And I feel if done the way it should be, there's a place for both. Um, like I said, it needs to be in the right hand properly. Um, I still thought that. I mean, I know a lot of people complained about um, the look of Grand Moff Tarkin, how they did for Rogue One. I thought it was I thought they did a great job considering the technology there that at that point.
Right.
Yeah, I thought it looked
And
great myself.
and the technology today, even talking not even 5 6 years since the last one came out, is well beyond what they had even then, and I mean, they could have probably made it 20 times better today. Um, but like I said, I don't want us to be at a point where we have to absolutely depend on it, where
Mm.
it dominates. Like you said, it dominates to the point where we don't have actual sets, we don't have actual um, prosthetics, or I think there's a place for both if things are done properly. And unfortunately, as time goes on, it will go the way. Um,
Well, it's a
but
business, right? That's the
yeah,
thing. If you're in a business, I get it. I understand. In a business, you're looking to save money,
Yeah, I mean,
looking
it's
for
already gone
better
that
ideas to do
direction
stuff, right? Like
a long
it's just
time ago. Yeah.
I mean the only
Yeah,
problem.
I think Star Wars has already gone towards more CGI like a decade ago or more. Like it's a
Well,
long time that they have been doing that. So
oh, I
well,
understand
I
that.
mean you can go
I get
back.
that.
You can go back to the prequels, and the prequels were a lot of
yeah,
CGI. But
right.
the problem with that is a lot of that didn't age well. Um,
It's true.
Yeah.
and just because it looks a lot better now doesn't mean that 25 years down the line people are gonna look at it and say, "Oh well, that looks as good as ever." That maybe 25 years down the line, people might be looking at that and say, "Wow, that looks horrible."
Yeah.
And what were they thinking? Which is why I think you still need a place for things that are practical, because going back to those practical sets, having actual actors on the out there doing their job, sometimes you just can't replace it.
But yeah, in the case of Peter Cushing and this case, like I wasn't here when you guys read the article, obviously, but it is, it's a different studio saying we own his likeness. You can't do this. It's not like they're saying like you can't do a CGI of him. Like they can't do anything in his likeness at all.
Well, no, they're claiming that it's their. We were the ones you needed
Like,
to get permission from.
yeah,
Lucasfilm
Tyburn Film Productions.
Whereas Lucasfilm said, "Well, we went to the family, we went to his estate, and they
Yeah.
gave us permission." So,
Yeah. But that's where they were wrong. That's the whole case. Is they went to the family when the family didn't own the rights.
but I mean,
That studio, whatever, Tyburn Film Productions owned the rights through his through his affairs when he passed.
and I mean, in time, I mean, like I said, they haven't set a court date yet, as far as we know.
That's true.
I'm sure we'll hear about it in the future. And
Yeah.
like I said, for me, I just hope it's done in a way that it doesn't impact potential future of any of these things being done again.
Yeah.
Because
I would say for sure it likely will impact our ability to see Peter Cushing's likeness in any Star Wars stuff. But hopefully they can still do these kind of recreations with some characters because we love some of these characters, of course.
at the same
But
time,
I think they're just going to, in general, I think it's going to be a little tougher down the road now because of this lawsuit as well. Now that it's out there that the lawsuit is, this Lucasfilm is being sued because of, improper usage, then, there's going to be a lot more looking into
Who
this
has
kind of,
rights for what?
who has rights for whatever, right? Because obviously
Yeah.
there was either whoever was in charge of it was totally wrong and going in the wrong direction to ask whoever's permission it was. But
you do hear about that a lot in Hollywood, where an actor gets like for instance, what's his name, Crispin Glover in Back to the Future 2, the second one.
Yep.
They just used his likeness and he didn't get paid for it at
It
all.
wasn't even him. Yeah.
Yeah.
that's a little.
Yeah.
And he's been outspoken about it too. I've watched a couple interviews with him about it.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Should I take the next one, guys? I guess, eh?
Go for it.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, easy.
Or are we ready to move on?
Yeah.
I've got nothing else, so.
Oh. Am I frozen again?
No.
I can hear you.
Frozen.
Oh. Okay. All right. Oh, what is it? Oh, Acolyte, sweet. So
we specifically left that one for you, I guess.
Star Wars announces the Acolyte Wayseeker release date following the show cancellation. Following a disappointing Disney Plus run, Star Wars opted to cancel the Acolyte, Lucasfilm's first live-action High Republic series set a century before The Phantom Menace. But Lucasfilms is not done with this story or its prequel storytelling just yet. So first announced at the 2024 San Diego Comic-Con, Lucasfilm's next High Republic novel, The Acolyte Wayseeker, releases on May 6, 2025. Despite the series, it is based on already being cancelled. Written by Justina Ireland, Star Wars confirmed the Acolyte Wayseeker explores Vernestra Row's life 20 years before the events of the Disney Plus series. But the book's description, shared by Penguin Random House, goes even further, sharing how Jedi Master Indara, portrayed in The Acolyte by Carrie-Anne Moss, requests Rose help for a Coruscant mission, resulting in the former prodigy wrestling with the messy relationship between Jedi business, politics, and the Republic. While Disney Star Wars canceled The Acolyte in August, it is interesting to note that Wayseeker's cover features the series live-action stars, specifically Rebecca Henderson as Vernestra and Carrie-Anne Moss as Master Indara. Will Wayseeker answer fans' questions about the Acolyte? Even though Henderson's role was not the star of Leslie Headland's The Acolyte, the series showcased her efforts to cover up the Jedi deaths, her concern with politics, and the fact Manny Jacinto's Sith-like Khmer was her former but fallen Padawan. This is one of the many storylines the Acolyte introduced but didn't resolve before its cancellation, leading fans to hope answers would be provided in print. Therefore, the fact that Wayseeker is a prequel to the show, not a sequel, is a little frustrating. Still, since the new novel's synopsis hints at Vernestra's moral struggles and issues with politics, perhaps these answers will be proved in retrospect and shed new light on her decisions in The Acolyte. In addition, along with the presence of Master Indara, Vernestra's relationship with Chimere may be further explored, since the book is only set 2 decades before the streaming series. If so, featuring the Acolyte's live-action cast on the book's cover may work to Lucasfilm's advantage, as fans are eager for answers from the show, regardless of whether they want it to continue. And the book arrives May 6, 2025.
Oh, where to start?
No, we're just done.
um,
God,
I guess
like, seriously.
The cover looks good, I'll say that. The cover art, like, it looks nice.
Sure, we can go with that.
I still don't like her makeup. I can't stand it. I'm sorry. Like,
Looks too
I can't
fake,
stand
like
it.
too human.
I can't stand it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the best way I could put it, for those that love the show, this is great news for them, because they'll get to continue their story, at least in a way that they can consume it. For me, this is non-news to me. Story I didn't enjoy from the beginning. I'm not interested enough to even go back and look at this. Unfortunately, maybe someday I'll break down and just read it anyway. But it's definitely not a priority.
Yeah, I think if they come out with a book that is about the Plagueis part of it, and they say, "Oh, you have to read Wayseeker to know what's going on in this one," maybe then, yeah, you know.
I mean,
I
go ahead.
I think this just further proves that this show should have been a book. Like, it should never have been brought to life. You know what I mean? If they can make all these High Republic books all they want, go for it. I'm not gonna read them because I'm not too interested in most of the High Republic stuff, to be honest. And I feel like it's probably too much stuff to go into, anyways. But the only thing that would interest me would the relationship, the Khmer relationship, because that character to me was the star of that show.
Yeah.
So I would want to know
very
more
mysterious
about that relationship, how it broke down, what had happened. So maybe I might push myself through it to read this book just for that. Other than that, I could care less. And where it says, therefore, the fact that Wayseeker is a prequel to the show, not a sequel, is a little frustrating. Who cares? Like if if you like the show, you like the show. Great.
I mean,
all the power to you. I'm glad you got through it, and I'm glad you loved it. But I'm just frustrated that they're continuing to unload and to call it the Acolyte. Why still call it the Acolyte?
Yeah.
Just call it Wayseeker. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the
High
Acolyte.
Republic Wayseeker, yeah.
It's not. It's yeah. Anyways, just you can go ahead, Eldor. Just frustrating.
I mean, the only thing I was gonna add was I'm at least glad it's a prequel and not a sequel to what we saw. It'll build into a show that again I'm not in. I truly didn't love because it's just done so wrong in so many ways. I don't want a continuation of that story because we saw where the continuation was going, and I don't need that story. I think going any further is going to just cause more problems in the movies as we through them, and I just don't want to see that happen. But it's also proof that it just continues to prove that the Acolyte was put in the wrong hand to begin with. I'm not going to say she who will not be named name, but she should have never. They should have never let her touch this.
Swamp already said her name.
Huh?
I did say
Swamp
her
already
name.
said her name.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I missed it.
in the article, yeah.
Just don't say it 3 times, okay?
Yeah. But anybody
no.
who wrote any of these episodes, they clearly didn't know what they were doing. I think the show really did at the end of the day it focused on the wrong characters. It should have been focused, like you said, it should have been focused on the Chimera character. It should have built more around his relationship with Plagueis, and I mean, you could have had Vernestra Rowe in there as potentially where does she fit into it as well, being his former master. These would have been things that would have added to the story. I would have understood, and it would have been that on that alone, it would have been 20 times better a story.
I think one thing that was kind of like as far as the show again like holds very little merit for me and others. I think the fact that there's like this Jedi cover up is something that kind of like in my mind helped clarify some of the things because there was always these things like, oh, there was all these Sith for all those years, but nobody knew about them, and it just kind of seemed very like unbelievable. But to know that there's like these conspiracies and cover-ups and things like that kind of lends to this idea that okay, it's not as straightforward as just nobody ever heard of them because they were hiding in the shadows or whatever, right?
But
So I think that that was kind of interesting for me.
But for me, at the same
Just
time,
perspective wise,
I think that hiding the story and just acting like it didn't happen was part of what made Vernestra Rowe a very unlikable character in this series to begin with. Especially at a time when everybody was talking about how excited they were for this character to pop up. And they were excited for her because she was such a loved character in the High Republic series. If this is the character that she was in the entire series, I don't understand how she was such a loved character because I hated her.
But yeah, it does kind of remind me of like those characters when you have like the say like a cop drama and they're trying to like save the world and then like their superiors are like saying, oh no, it's gonna look bad if we do such and such a thing. She's like almost like one of those characters.
Yeah, it's like if somebody who read and loved the High Republic came up to me afterwards and said, "Oh God, no, this was not the character that I'm reading in the books." Okay, I believe you because this is not a character I want to go back and read about.
And it would further prove the person put in charge of the show should never have been in charge of the show.
Yeah.
Right?
Unfortunately, she's the one. unfortunately, I think she's the one that pitched this show to begin with, which makes it that much harder.
Yeah.
But
yeah, one thing one thing about the High Republic though, from what I've heard, like I haven't read any of the publications myself, but from what I've heard, um it is sort of pushing the agenda of like, inclusiveness and social justice and all that kind of stuff in the novelizations. So I feel like that is part of what sort of upset people about this show when I think I don't know. It kind of seems like maybe that's the sort of the heart of some of these stories in the first place, potentially. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So it's kind of hard to separate what these stories were supposed to be when we kind of we haven't really read them and stuff like that too.
But again, if you love the show, I am happy for you. I wish I could love the show like you love the show.
and I
But
100% agree with you.
but I didn't.
I mean, yeah. To those that did
And
love the
again,
show,
this is our opinions. Nobody
Yeah.
really, this is our opinion. Don't, if you like the show, you like the show.
yeah. And
We're
if
not
you,
crapping on you. I wish, I wish I could have loved it.
that's like I said, if you love the show, I'm happy you have at least a little more story to read and enjoy in the part of the universe that you get to enjoy. I'm not gonna be reading it with you, but enjoy it because
Yeah, we're not gonna have a read along on the channel. Don't put your hopes into that one.
all right. Hey, man,
Let's move on.
Unless we get 1,000 followers right now. No,
everybody hit that follow button. You guys, we want to see 1,000.
Smash that like button.
1,000 ratings and likings on our Spotify page. Come on, man. Yeah, let's can we let's just move on to the
let's go.
We're done with it.
All right. So I'll catch the next one here.
Right.
Comes out of gamingbible.com, and it's just basically saying the Star Wars Jedi final chapter has been officially announced. Again, this is back from middle of September, so
September 18th.
A little old, but the news is there, and it says basically EA has confirmed that the third part in the Star Wars Jedi series, which follows Cal Kestis across the galaxy, will be the final part of the series, which I believe we knew anyway, but anyway. The third game, which is so far untitled, will conclude Cal's story. What this means for the future of the EA and Star Wars partnership is hard to say. I don't think it ends anything just because of Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, all of us play the game. At least not until that game goes away. But again, moving on. Laura, I'm not sure if it's pronounced Neil. President of Entertainment and Technology confirmed this as she discussed the company's future plans during an Investor Day presentation. Before dropping the announcement, she also revealed just how many people have been along for the. She quotes, quote is, over 40 million Star Wars fans have connected with Cal Kestis in his arc of becoming a powerful. Neil went on to say, Respawn is working hard to bring the final chapter of this thrilling story to play. Without trying to read between the lines too much, it's worth noting that she said, of this thrilling story, so perhaps the Star Wars Jedi franchise will continue while retiring Cal Kestis after the fans have overwhelmingly welcomed both Star Wars Jedi games for telling a compelling story, including top-notch action set piece. We all knew that a third part was in the works from comments here, and there are across social media. However, this is the first official announcement of the series ending with the third installment. Of course, EA has other things in the work constantly. Emil did briefly discuss their Marvel partnership while also referencing how well Star Wars have delivered some of the highest quality and best-selling Star Wars games of time, with over 5 billion in net bookings. This impressive track record includes, of course, the Star Wars Jedi game. As of now, there is no firm release date for the closing part of the trilogy, but we're sure to get more information next year. It's good news. I mean, obviously, it's good news to know that they're going forward with it. Mainly because I know that the lead writer has left the company. So I knew it was going to be delayed, but this does tell me that at least they're pulling themselves together and getting this thing. They're going to get this done. How what that means for the story itself, though, I tend to wonder because when you have somebody that's there for the first two parts of a story, and now they're gone for the third, you tend to wonder about that initial vision for the story in general.
Sounds like the sequel trilogy all over again.
Well, I mean, that was just bad planning altogether. I mean, this at least somebody. I think there was somebody there that had an idea. I mean, if I remember correctly, I think the guy who was the lead writer, he actually left and started his own company. So I don't know if it was just a good opportunity for himself to be able to do that for himself or what. But otherwise, I'm happy for this. I don't think it's the end of. I don't think it's the end of this. Again, the Star Wars EA partnership because until Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes technically dies, which they're still pulling in too much money at this point, I'm not seeing that end.
Yeah,
But
that's fair. I think another thing that would impact it is if like another company came out with something really good that was Star Wars, like outside of the EA umbrella, you know?
which would be nice. I mean, fortunately, I don't
Yeah.
feel we've gotten that.
No, definitely not yet.
I'll be the first to say I wasn't. I was not impressed with Outlaw.
Oh,
Um,
really?
Oh,
for
really? Okay.
but I didn't even finish it. It was there were too many bugs. The story wasn't really that compelling. It's unfortunate that it came to that. But
Oh, I just noticed something that I totally missed in this article. Lego Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order teased in new trailer. Kind of interesting.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, it's a little bit further down.
Huh, that's interesting.
Yeah, yeah, I had not heard that that was a thing at all.
I mean, but I definitely give them credit. I mean, because give Respawn credit. I mean, they've put out two good video games for the franchise. And two really good stories, I thought, as well. I mean, I think Survivor was not as good as Fallen Order, but it was still a good story. But at the end of the day, when we're looking at a franchise where we're having trouble getting stories out there, getting shows out there, getting movies out there, and they were able to put together two really good video games that told good stories. Good on them. I mean,
Yeah.
so um, yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what this third one will be, and I don't want to take all. I don't want to take all of the all of the talking here. What do you guys think on this?
Well, I mean, I'm happy for people that are playing these games. I'm still in the first one still, so it takes me a while to play play games. But when I get to the second and when the third one's done, I'm sure I'll be happy that these games and that these games will be around for me to play, and whatever comes out about it from it, whatever. Like, but I take a while to play games, so I'm happy for you guys that can get to these games right quickly and are waiting for sequels to come out, because that never happens to me. So
Yeah, but I mean, more importantly, I mean, you're enjoying the game, right?
absolutely, yeah. I think visually the games are great. I think the stories are great. Gives you a different perspective of certain things. It's cool to be the character going through a Star Wars. It's like you're almost there. You know what I mean? Like when I walked through Galaxy's Edge when I was in Florida, it's an experience. So the game is an experience on its own. Like you're watching things, you're doing things, you get to use a lightsaber, man. Like it's a lot of fun. Use the Force. You get to kill stormtroopers and all that kind of jazz. So, hey, I mean, as long as it's like a good visual, I think people are going to continue to enjoy them, and hopefully, the loss of that writer doesn't impact them for too long, and they can get this game out to the fans that want to play it.
That thing with the door technician, I feel like that's probably one of the biggest memes to happen in a game in like a very long time. So
Yeah.
that was, brought a good positive attention to the Star Wars realm.
Yeah, that was fun. It's like I don't want to say too much because I don't know if Andy's gotten there yet. So.
But you've heard of it though, right, Andy? Like I haven't played the games, but I've heard about it. Like it's like it's like a fake boss battle where this like door tech runs in at you, and it's like after you just completed this part that's like devastatingly hard, like you're dying, and then this like all of a sudden this health bar comes up and you're going into a boss battle and you're like, oh, and then you realize it's just this like door tech and he runs towards you and then he like dies in one hit. Yeah, sounds
No,
pretty
I don't
funny.
think I've.
Yeah,
I don't think I've witnessed that.
Pretty hilarious.
Is it in the second one then, or the first one?
Yeah, the second one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Then I haven't even gotten through half the first one yet. So
Yeah. But yeah, like that, I don't know, I feel like it's a huge meme. It was like all over the place, but yeah.
yeah, me and memes, they don't. I don't.
You
I
don't
don't know.
catch the memes.
I don't. Yeah, I don't pursue memes, and I don't. I don't know. I don't look at a lot of them, I guess. So for me, I probably overlooked it, so I haven't seen it myself. So you'd probably have to send it to me or show me in the chat so I can see it, or somebody find it for me and so I can take a look at it.
It's fair. It's fair.
That's memes. I don't. Yeah, memes, and me, not really, not really a thing. But
I'll see if I can find it. I'll send it to you later. Then.
not
If you get
down with them. Although they're good though. Like a good meme is a good meme, but
yeah.
I know people are often in like groups and chats and like in these meme threads and all this stuff, just constantly looking at memes all day long, and I'm just like, I have no idea.
Yeah.
all right. Let's move on from here.
Moving on.
Let's see. Amy, want to take on the next one? I kind of accidentally.
Yeah, the Skeleton Crew one.
Yeah, I think that one's next.
Okay, I'll do that one. This is a post from EW.com, Entertainment Weekly. about Skeleton Crew. Star Wars Skeleton Crew exclusive photos reveal Jaleel White, our favorite Urkel, our only Urkel, as a space pirate. Creators John Watts and Christopher Ford explain why they are playing with a part of the galaxy that has a resurgent piracy. Arg, there be pirates. And we've got the photo to prove it. Skeleton Crew, tale of four children who discover a secret and then get into a series of adventures as they attempt to find a way back to their home planet. And it seems their journey will pit them against some fearsome foes, namely pirates. Entertainment Weekly has the exclusive for Space Pirates below, as well as another exclusive image of Jude Law's Jod Nawood in the show's four pint-sized heroes. So spoke to Skeleton Crew creators John Watts and Christopher Ford about the potential hive of scum and villainy. Villainy? No, villainy. So not villainy. Those are pirates. So confirms Ford photo. So I don't know, and nobody can see the photo there, but it's pretty much a photo of a bunch of pirates and the characters, including what's his name, Vane. Yeah, Vane. So Vane was a pirate that was in the Mandalorian, who flew away when the pirate. What do you call him? The pirate Davy Jones.
Yeah, Davy
Yeah.
Jones.
When Davy Jones went down with his ship.
Gorian Shard, though, is
Gorian
his name.
Shard, yeah.
I remember it now.
Yeah, Gorian Shard. So he was already. So we kind of already know who he is, but everybody else here, they had. I'm pretty sure they had mannequins of two of them, I believe, that's in this picture at D23, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Right. And but also in there is Jaleel White's character, and his name is Gunter. Gunter. I don't know if it's like supposed to be like with a German accent or
Yeah.
Gunter. Anyways, so he's he kind of, yeah. I mean, he's got a cyborg, I don't know, visor in the back of his head, sort of like Lobot.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
He kind of looks like a cross between what, like they forgot what they had Saw Gerrera look like.
Honestly,
add Lobot.
This looks like you know, the movie Universal.
Yeah.
Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's what he looks
Actually,
like.
I think they made like 5 of those movies.
Yeah. They all have that like scope thing over their eye and like the whatever.
Sure. Even the chest little pack thing that they have really looks similar to that. True.
Yeah.
The one like beast looking guy there has some pirate looking guns on his chest too. Those look pretty cool.
It's very pirate looking, like old,
like old
timey, like the ball and the ball and powder stuff.
Wheel lock pistol, I think. Something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that one actually looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they look good. I'm not saying like it doesn't. It looks pretty good.
I don't know, just something about the Jaleel White one though, that it just feels like, you know, you could have went to Tatooine and met up with the Vespas, right?
Oh yeah, he's the leader of the mods.
So to the left, I mean, nobody can see the picture, but in the picture there's so Jaleel White's character, Gunter, the unsavory Vane, who gave Din Djarin and Grief Karga such a hard time in The Mandalorian. Rounding out this not so merry band of pirates is another character by the name of Brutus,
Which I think is the good looking one with the guns.
like the wolf looking one.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think it says that he's the right of. No, he's to the right. The right of Gunter. Oh, right to us, maybe. Yeah. So not actually Jalil White's right. It's from us looking at it. So it is. It should be. Yeah. So it should be the wolf looking guy. That's Brutus, and Pax is next to him, and then Shalt.
Which looks like he's the one that's like half cut off.
Yeah. So the skeleton with skeleton crew taking place in the same time frame as shows like The Mandalorian, Book of Boba Fett, Ahsoka. After the fall of the second Death Star and before order, that means that there is a lack of what one might call Imperial enforcement, naturally that allows various forces to thrive. Pirates played a role in The Mandalorian. So Gorian Shard and Vane created the Chaos in Navarro. Exploring the edges of the wild space is something that co-creator Watts is excited to do, not just due to his love of Star Wars, but also because of his love of a certain LucasArts video game series that dates all the way back to 1990. Also a big fan of Monkey Island, apparently. That's also classic Lucas. So somewhere between Star Wars Pirates and Monkey Island Pirates. I think we found our sweet spot.
And it's going back.
Oh, hey. I mean, even look at in that picture with Jude Law. Like, look at his gun, and it looks piratey too, right? Like,
Actually,
almost like he was.
it also reminds me of some of the guns that they actually had in Star Wars: The Old Republic. I know they had a couple guns like that because I had a scoundrel character that I've gone around and I remember seeing a gun like that. I was like, that's the gun I want on that character. And the way they were designed in the Old Republic, you could sit there and you can modify them so that they would still be good enough to use with like whatever level you need to be at, but you could keep the look. And there were a lot of guns that looked like that back then, and yeah, I think they've actually caught a lot of the spirit of that, and it's really good to me.
Right.
Kind of gives you that old west kind of.
Yeah, I wonder if that is where they got the inspiration is from those games then, if they do have those kind of style.
Well, I mean, Lucasfilm has never said that they're not going to be ones to like pick little pieces from here and there wherever they find them. So, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if they thought they being technically to pull that gun out of a game without really crediting it and saying, "Oh, well, I got it from the Old Republic. Now this gun is canon," because that would just be silliness to have to go through that much. So,
yeah, well, they have said that most of the storytelling of today is based on things such as legends and stuff like that. So it kind of lends to that idea.
yeah, but I mean, there's still stuff that they haven't quote unquote touched yet. So, excuse me.
But yeah, then it just goes on about Watts and Ford saying that Dave Filoni is their figurative goalkeeper. You know, them bouncing ideas his way, and him going, oh, actually, maybe it's this, or oh, we already did something like that somewhere else, and yada yada, and all that stuff. And
I do remember somebody else saying that too, though. She who shall not be named person.
Yeah, you've said her name once. We can't say it again.
But I do remember her saying that. We're like, okay, that's reassuring. And then
that honestly, yeah, I know, right? Like that show kind of took a little bit of the faith away from Filoni that we kind of had before going into that show. You know,
Yeah,
Filoni is like
at the same time, the one thing that we always said about her though was everything looks good. The trailer looks good, and then she talks, and it took away. I haven't gotten that. I haven't gotten that from Watts yet. Where he opens his mouth and it feels like, oh, now I'm worried. So so at least we have that going for us right now.
That's true.
That's true.
True. And the trailer looked definitely more enticing, I would say.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I'd like to see another one before it's up.
Yeah, I think there should be another one that I would hope that they drop another one maybe the end of November, maybe like a smaller one. Just give us a couple more scenes or something. I don't know.
Like I said, I mean, I think we might even see it in the next couple of weeks, just because. I mean, I know before we started this, I was mentioning they're gonna have a 23
that's
out
right,
of Brazil in a couple of weeks.
Oh yeah.
I want to say. What the trailer? Let me. It's supposed to be November 8th, 9th, and 10th. And it's in Sao Paulo.
Brazil.
The only thing I find interesting is the dates. I mean, that's across a Tuesday, Wednesday. Where events like that you would expect to be like a Friday, Saturday, Sunday thing. But
Well, I guess nobody works in Brazil, right?
Maybe. I guess not.
Yeah, maybe it's all the same down there.
Guess not.
But yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm interested to see what they're going to come out with there, because I mean they're mentioning all of it: Disney, Pixar, Marvel, Star Wars, National Geographic. So there's got to be at least some kind of announcement out of there.
Yeah, I just hope it's not all the same stuff, but just in Brazil. Like,
Well,
I hope there's something new.
I mean, I'm pretty much expecting it to be Skeleton Crew, maybe something that we'll actually get to watch about Andor, but that's.
But I don't know why they wouldn't just do it at the D23 that we saw, and why would they release anything new in the one in Brazil? I just don't understand. I don't foresee us seeing anything extra.
Well, I mean, this is the only way I'll put it. I could see like the final trailer for Skeleton Crew, just because we're this close, and whereas it was the first trailer at the other one, they may not even touch on the. Maybe we get. I mean, we could have a teaser for Mandalorian Grogu by this point. Something just to whet the appetite before Celebration hits, where we'll get a real trailer.
Yeah, or at least maybe some like photos or posters or something like that.
Yeah, or they do like the little sizzle reels or whatever it is. Because I mean, if filming should be done by now. So if that's the case, then they're gonna be in a position where they could at least give us something.
Come on, Star Wars, Lucasfilm, you can give us something. Like, knock it off.
I mean, at a time when people are coming off of a low, it'd be kind of good to give something a little exciting, just to carry us over.
Oh man!
But let's see when we get. I'll leave it at that. Anything else you guys want to throw in on Skeleton Crew here, or?
No, I think it's coming together pretty good. Like, it looks, I don't know, the characters look good, and I just want to get into it.
I hear that.
Want to watch it. But we got it, so.
Yeah, when we got the sort of the mannequin thingies at D23, I thought it was pretty cool, and I kind of, took some time looking at the characters, like trying to figure it out in my head what they are and stuff like that. And then when I seen this, I'm like, okay, +1. Now we know where Urkel fits into the thing, because he's kind of the one that also told us about the show in general, right? Because he accidentally leaked it or whatever on whatever that was, NHL game or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, that's about all that I want to say. Is like, yeah, you could have showed us that at the D23, made a mannequin of him as well, but whatever.
I mean, you could have had a mannequin with just his costume and not have the actor in it, right? Like,
right? Yeah.
at least.
Yeah.
All right, so okay, you want to cover this? You want to cover the next one, or
Sorry, hold on. I spilled water all over the place. I'm just trying to clean it up
Oh.
here.
oh, no worries.
I'm almost there. Almost there.
Jeez.
No difficulties today at all.
Technical difficulties. None of we never have any.
What?
Never.
What? This podcast? No,
Yeah,
never,
come on.
never.
All right. Where are we?
Donald Glover.
Oh, Donald Glover. Okay. All right. Donald Glover says Star Wars is pop up here. Way too serious sometimes, and he hopes the Lando movie brings fun back. We have a responsibility to make enjoyment. Donald Glover is set to return as Star Wars fan favorite Lando Calrissian in a movie he's developing for Disney and Lucasfilm alongside his brother and frequent collaborator, Stephen Glover. And all Donald Glover wants to do is bring the fun back to the Star Wars franchise. I just want it to be fun, he said, he recently told the Wall Street Journal during a video interview. As a Star Wars fan myself, I think it's important that there needs to be fun being had.
Being had.
This is like the most convoluted article. Anyways, it's very hard to have like just the way it's written. It's just repeating the same like thing in multiple different ways. But anyways,
I think
it's
that's
very
just Donald
hard.
Glover in general. Like that's
Yeah, that's
doesn't
true.
like to give a lot of information. Just
It's
repeats
very
himself over.
hard to have fun right now. Donald Glover continued. It's tough because there's very serious things happening, and those are the only things that connect us weirdly. So I get why things are so serious, but part of the human experience, I believe, is we have a responsibility to have enjoyment, and I feel like we're lacking in that department. You didn't already say that, but anyways, Donald Glover said that while he obviously loves Star Wars franchise, it can be super serious sometimes. It's way too serious. Everything that has to do with Skywalkers is like so serious. With Lando, I think the best part about him is he's a scoundrel, and I feel like people can relate to that. And he probably, like, man, this war is whack. I need money, which I feel everyone can relate to. I want to bring fun to Star Wars. I just want it to be fun. Holy, okay.
Repetition.
I think this actually might have been a song. Maybe I was doing it wrong the whole
Yeah,
time.
maybe. Yeah.
That was the chorus right there.
Just Childish Gambino
I
there.
just wanna have fun. I mean, I don't know. The Atlanta Emmy winner debuted as a young Lando in 2018 Star Wars tentpole Solo, which was a notable box office disappointment for Disney and Lucasfilms. News broke in July 2023 that Glover Brothers had been tapped to replace Justin Simeon as the writers of new Lando television series for Disney Plus. Variety confirmed last September that the project was actually a new Lando movie.
Oh,
Donald Glover. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Donald Glover revealed in 2023 video interview with GQ magazine that he was talking to Lucasfilms about another Lando-centric project in the Star Wars universe. He said, "We're talking about it. That's as much as I can say without Kathleen Kennedy hunting me down." Lando,
She's a bounty hunter.
yeah, she'll get you. Lando is charm incarnate. Donald Glover added at the time. He's kind of a maverick, which I don't think there's a lot of anymore. It's hard to be the smooth talker nowadays. Where's the line? That's also where the danger is. How close can you get without tipping over it? I would love to play Lando again. It's a fun time being him. It just has to be the right way to do it. Time is precious. Oh, I guess back in those days he wasn't saying fun, 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 fun. All right, watch Donald Glover's full intro. Oh, that's yeah.
Oh,
All right, that's
So if
it for the
anybody wants to
article.
watch it, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the word fun 92 times.
You hear fun?
You might hear him. A few things I'm predicting in this video, if you guys do want to watch it, is that he's going to talk about having fun and how things are too serious.
It's new lyrics to his new song.
Just don't turn that into a drinking game. You might not make it through. I guess I can. It's weird because he really laid on the fun.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I feel like I understand it too.
Oh yeah, I understood it the first time he said it. Really,
and I might almost even understand just how much he threw in the fun, just because I remember a couple months back when we were covering the Justin Simeon being replaced, and for him it was, oh my god, the sad that he felt when he suddenly finally
fired
lost a
over
job.
Twitter.
Yeah. Maybe he's trying to account for that. I don't know. But yeah, I get it. I mean, at the end of the day, Lando should be something. It should be a fun romp through. It should be us going in, not expecting to sit here. Obviously, it's going to cover canon. Obviously, it's going to be something that we've heard about or something new. But the beauty of the Lando Calrissian character is, outside of wing of the Battle of Tanab, we don't know a lot about the character outside of what was introduced in Solo, what we got from Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi. There's a whole lot of stories we could throw in with him that have nothing to do with the quote unquote Skywalker saga that we can actually have a good time with.
Have a fun time.
I really tried not to use that word.
I see that.
But
are you serious right now?
But yeah, I see the potential. Will it ever happen? That's another story.
No, because didn't they already say that the Lando movie's on the shelf again?
Well, no, it was on the shelf. Now all of a sudden he's talking about I'm working on it. So I don't know if it's technically on the shelf because every time we turn around, it's on the shelf. No, I'm working on it. Well, it's on the shelf. No, I'm working on it.
Okay, well then it comes down to where in the next couple years will they throw this movie in then if they are working on it?
Yeah, and you're right. But at this point, the current state of where we are is I'm working on it. So whatever that means.
We all know who else was working on a Star Wars movie too, right?
Yeah, but nobody's come out to reaffirm it's on the shelf. So until somebody says it, I'll assume, hey, maybe sometime in 2035 we'll get this movie.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I think with TW we at least had that nail in the coffin when he's like, I don't even like Thor. I made that movie as a joke. It's like, okay, you're off. We get it. You're gone. Get out of here.
Rocker.
And that's the other side. And that's the other side of this too, because he obviously loves playing Lando Calrissian. I think he clearly wants to play this character again. So I think that gives him a little more incentive to go out there and want to make this movie. So that being said, I'm gonna tend to lean in the direction of maybe they are working on this. just because of that.
Hey,
Yeah.
I still want to be optimistic, okay?
That
I
too.
want to be optimistic on any Star Wars project that's coming out because at the end of the day, I want them to be all great. And I want to be loving Star Wars more than I've loved Star Wars forever. But, you know, with all the things that are going on and all the head upper management and all the crap that's going on with this company, your optimism tends to start fading away a little bit and a little bit more and a little bit more. But I still want to love it. But yeah, it's just now you're going into stuff and you're seeing production stuff and you're seeing announcements and you're like, okay, they're announcing more. Is it gonna happen? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. But I want to love it. Please, please give us something good.
I hear you.
Yeah, I think sometimes in Star Wars things are just too serious, and
They're not having any fun.
I'm hoping this movie just brings a lot of fun back to the Star Wars.
I really
Fun and
they're
more
not
fun.
having any fun. They're not having any fun in upper management. They have no fun up there.
Yeah.
I don't think there's
Yeah.
any fun being had with Kathleen Kennedy being around.
I'm going to take that as a segue.
That's another story.
And I'm going to actually cover the next two stories because they're kind of related.
These are newer.
The first one is coming out of the world of. It's based back in mid-September. Well, mid to late September. And the title of it is Star Wars: The New Jedi Order now on hold at Lucasfilm. It says back in June there were rumors spreading that Lucasfilm's Rey movie, essentially titled New Jedi Order, was going to be shooting in September. I shot down those rumors, saying no chance. I had read. Quote is, if only I could tell you what I'd been hearing when it comes to behind the scenes drama with this project. I swore not to say anything. Telling me not to write about it, but I'm fairly certain some of it will actually come out. Daniel Richtman, who I don't know, like internet person, very well known for his ability to lock down stories of what's going on, but saying he's reporting what I've been saying all along. Forget about it. The film has a lot more work to be done. Is now on hold at Lucasfilm. Earliest it would shoot in is 2025. I'm pretty skeptical about that. In fact, I think the entire project will be wrapped. What I can say is Stephen Knight has been trying to crack the script now for well over a year. A final draft still hasn't been submitted to Lucasfilm. Knight, who is about to shoot his Peaky Blinders movie, has written a total of 4 drafts, with Lucasfilm's Kathleen Kennedy continuously giving him notes on how to improve the story. These issues with Knight come only 2 years after development on the film started, and various drafts had circulated, with different writers including Damon Lindelof, known for Watchmen, and Justin Brick Gibson taking a crack at it, before both eventually exited the project due to creative differences. There's also another issue. Disney might be second-guessing the entire nature of the project. Will they or won't they allow this film to move forward? Do we really need another Rey movie? Plot details that have been kept fairly hush-hush. Based on what I've heard, the film would focus on Rey's tutelage at an academy of incoming Jedi, part of Rey's attempt to rebuild the Jedi, or the new Jedi. Disney Lucasfilm hired a documentary filmmaker, Charmin Obey-Chinoy, to direct a Rey movie. She hasn't been shy in her insistence that when she hopped on board the project, her goal and Disney's was to have a female character shape the future of, quote unquote, shape the future of the Star Wars franchise. Keep hearing Obey-Chinoy's future at Lucasfilm is in doubt as well. Regardless, it's quite clear that this won't be the next Star Wars movie or at Disney. In case you've lost count, I'm gonna actually just skip the rest of this part. Because it's just going to lead into the next story that I have here. That actually is from this past week. It comes out of Variety. It was actually listed 2 days ago, saying the Star Wars movie with Daisy Ridley loses screenwriter Stephen Knight. Here it is. There's another disturbance in the Force. Screenwriter I don't know why I keep saying Stephen Wright instead of Stephen Knight. I don't know. I have the comedian's
That
name
K
in my
looks
head.
like an R.
Has departed the Star Wars movie set to follow Daisy Ridley's Rey after the events of 2019 Star Wars The Rise. In March 2023, Variety exclusively reported that Knight had been signed on to the project, replacing original screenwriters Damon Lindelof and Justin Britt Gibson. Lucasfilm is actively talking with potential writers to take on the story, which has been said to chronicle Rey's efforts to start a new Jedi Academy, but the delay likely means production won't start until well into 2025 at the least. Obaid Chinoy is still attached to direct the film, which would be her feature debut. She previously directed episodes of Disney Plus series Miss Marvel, after twice winning the Oscar for Best Documentary Short. While discussing her latest documentary about designer Diane von Furstenberg, which premiered on Hulu in June, Obaid Chinoy told Variety that the Star Wars story interests me most is in Rey's journey as a female Jedi. That's how I can best bring my experience to it. Knight, meanwhile, has been a prolific creative force in film and TV. It's really going into this background. The next Star Wars movie, Mandalorian Grogu, from director Jon Favreau, scheduled to premiere in May 2026. Disney has slated 2 more Star Wars films for December 2026, December 2027, but has not yet confirmed their times. At the 2023 Star Wars Celebration event in London, Lucasfilm president Kathleen Kennedy announced that, along with Obaid Chinoy's film, the company was developing movies with director James Mangold and Dave Filoni, Lucas' chief creative officer and executive producer of the Disney Plus series Ahsoka and the Mandalorian. Okay, so all this tells me in the beginning, you guys want to talk about it, or you want me to get into it?
You can get into it.
I just want to put one note before you continue. Just a reminder to everybody about what's her name? Shabbat Panoy.
Charmaine Obaid
Charmaine
Chinoy.
Obaid Chinoy. What she is known for is documentaries about women's rights and stuff like that. So she considers herself an activist. So that's shouldn't come as too much of a surprise that that's kind of her goal, is to, use Rey as this female empowerment type of character. So yeah. Anyways.
Andy?
Go ahead.
Okay. Let's just throw it out there. It's time for Kathleen Kennedy to go.
Absolutely.
All right.
Okay. Wait. No, not just Kathleen Kennedy. The whole upper regime of that, because if Kathleen Kennedy goes, the next one in line is right under her. She'll do the same thing, right? That whole structure's got to go, and new management's got to get in there.
Okay.
Clean house.
Okay.
I think personally this movie has to
put
go.
him back down to what he was doing. Don't keep out there.
Yeah, I think this movie, it should be the first thing to go. I think that's what's happening with these writers. They're coming in there and they're like, yeah, yeah, they're telling like a proper Star Wars story, and then they're like, no, no, you gotta, make it. To quote South Park, like make it black, make it gay, something like that. Yeah, that's where she's messing up this whole thing, Just too much of that.
Well, I'm gonna start with a date. It is December 21st, 2020. That'd be the day that Disney completed their acquisition of Lucasfilm. Kathleen Kennedy took over for George Lucas, and we were promised three new Star Wars movies going to be the sequel to what we were going what we were going to. Now here we are. We're nearly 12 years into 12 years. In that time, we've gotten 5 movies. Of those 5 movies, I would say 2 of them were well received. One was better than it was. One was better than it was given credit for, but it was a massive disappointment. And 2 were just bad.
Yep.
In that time, we've also had, I would say, we've only had 2 movies where the person who started the project finished the project. That would be The Force Awakens with J.J. Abrams and The Last Jedi with Rian Johnson. Since then, just trying to run them off the top of my head, Josh Trank was supposed to make a Boba Fett movie. Never happened. The guys from Game of Thrones were supposed to make a movie trilogy. Creative differences didn't happen. Gareth Edwards, he was able to finish his Rogue One movie, but because of, again, creative differences, Tony Gilroy had to come in and finish the job for him. Though he was allowed to stay on the set and finish his movie.
Yep.
Kevin Feige was given the opportunity to make a movie. It's on the shelf. Patty Jenkins allowed to given a chance to make a movie. Creative differences now on the shelf. The man who shall not be named was given an opportunity to make a movie. It's on the shelf. This movie has gone through Damon Lindelof. I forget the name of the second guy I just mentioned. Damon Lindelof, Justin Britt Gibson, and now an excellent writer in Stephen Knight has walked away.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been said that he hated his time there, working on this movie. Away with creative differences. The Solo movie, Gordon Miller, well known for making movies. Again, creative differences, though it might have been the one time that Lucasfilm was right. Creative differences, fired. Ron Howard had to be brought in to finish the job.
Right.
It's an unnecessary ongoing pattern. Rian Johnson even has a trilogy, now that I think about it, that he's supposed to be making for Star Wars. It's the most unwelcome thing on the planet, but it's on the shelf. What a surprise.
Yeah.
It's almost like Star Wars has become the curse of movie making. It's like you have to deal with Kathleen Kennedy. She's never going to be happy with what you throw in front of her. And given, I don't know, George might have been the same way at the end of the day. It's definitely a possibility. But I could tell you, George probably would have been a lot more intuitive as into maybe this is what we need to change. I could work with you. We could talk about it. We could get it done. And I guarantee you, at least half of the movies that aren't made would have been made.
Yep.
At this point,
Eh,
go ahead.
I was just gonna say these creative differences we keep hearing about, though. I'm pretty sure it's just her being like, "This doesn't represent enough of this demographic. We need to put in, more of these, more of those." They're trying to like put the pieces together, make some kind of like perfect puzzle that represents the demographic and stuff, and it's just not an appropriate way to make films and television or any media really. And I think that's all it is. That's all it is.
Unfortunately, at the end of the day, I can't say that's. I don't know. Just because I don't know what she's passing back to these guys when they give a story.
True.
Rise of Skywalker, another one. The guy who was supposed to did Jurassic World was originally writing it. They got rid of him to bring J.J. Abrams back. Sorry, they keep popping into my head. At what point is the problem not the directors and the vision of these directors, and the problem is with the person who just won't let anyone make. I mean, Steven Spielberg has come out and said that Kathleen Kennedy is the greatest producer in the history of filmmaking. I don't argue that.
Right,
I mean, she's been behind some of the greatest movies that have ever been made. Things I love, things I don't love, but that's besides the point. She's got her name in on a lot of important things. But just because you're a great producer does not mean you are a great studio. And at this point, I think we've blamed her so much. I'm not saying that the blame is wrong, but I think now the blame goes beyond her. This is Bob Iger's fault. I'm sorry. You've seen this happen time and time again. You have a franchise you spent $4 billion on. Given you've made your money back. I'm not trying to say you're not making money at Star Wars. But how much more money have you lost because of the projects that should have happened that didn't?
Yeah, I feel like he's probably feeling the opposite of that, since like every project they touch that's not Star Wars is like majorly failing, and Star Wars is like kind of the only thing keeping them afloat really over at Disney.
Actually, I would say Marvel's the only thing that's
But
keeping them
Marvel a
afloat.
bit too. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Because
But even that, like the Doctor Strange, the second one, Multiverse, that was a huge bomb. There was a couple of them that they put out that they put a ton of money in that did bomb. Of course, the uh, Wolverine Deadpool was a great success, but that's not
but
all. That's not always the case with the Marvel stuff either.
but I think it proves the point. Marvel has a much better track record than Star Wars.
Sure.
If there's a Marvel movie coming out and a Star Wars movie coming out at the same time, I'm probably going to say the Marvel movie has a better chance of success than the Star Wars movie.
Well, then, I
Well,
mean,
there
look how
was
many more
Um,
movies Marvel's put out too, though, as
yeah, but
well, right?
Marvel has released films as Disney Plus originals. Like that's the first place you could watch it. It wasn't in theaters, and that didn't have anywhere near the opening viewership as Star Wars: The Acolyte. Star Wars: The Acolyte holds the record for the biggest opening in Disney Plus shows and
true,
movies and anything.
true, but Kevin Feige has a
So,
better track record than Kathleen Kennedy does, right? And nobody can argue that.
Right.
Um, but I think that
but
this
I'm just
point,
saying, like, I don't think he's looking at Kathleen Kennedy like she's a problem, because, yeah, she's the most successful part of his company, essentially. One of the
wait, is
most
she?
successful parts. Yes,
Because I mean,
by
like I
the
said,
numbers.
Money-wise, yes.
at this point, I'm
Yes.
looking at it and I'm saying, my God, why can't you guys put anything out? I mean, in 12 years, we've gotten 5 Star Wars movies, and only 2 of them were able to be released without any problems. That's, to me, that's a problem.
Mhm.
I mean, the last 3 Star Wars movies that were released had issues. We're lucky in the fact that The Mandalorian and Grogu is practically done filming. We know that's going to come out. So at least we know May of 2026 we got a movie coming out. Guess what? This movie's on the shelf. This Rey movie's on the shelf. Number one, it was a bad idea to begin with. It's the one character that has driven the wedge in the Star Wars community. I'm sorry, it just is. I mean, don't get me wrong. Deep down, I actually like the Rey character. I don't have an issue with her. I think Rian Johnson wrote her wrong, and it just continued through into Rise of Skywalker. But that being said, she is the basis of the biggest problem that this company has right now. And you decide that you're going to come back with movies, and you're going to use that as your basis to branch back out into movies. It wasn't a good idea. It wasn't a well thought idea. But if you're going to do it, now you're having the same problems that you always had. So now, this movie it's supposed to be filming early 2025. It ain't gonna be filming until at the earliest late 2025 because there's no script. Guess what? This ain't gonna be ready for December of 2026. So what are you gonna put there now? Because you've made a point to say we're dropping a movie in December of 2026.
Right. Yep.
So here, for the past 3 years, you've got our hopes up that we got 3 movies on the way. Right now, we're only sure of 1. Because we haven't heard. Because that leads into our next story, so I'm not gonna bring it up yet.
Next story does kind of pertain to that.
Yeah, I'm not gonna bring it up yet.
Segue.
But
hopefully Daniel Richtman is right, and they're just gonna scrap this thing. I think that would be the best, personally.
I'm at a point where I don't even want it scrapped. I actually want the story because I want a movie. I want to go to the movie theater and watch some Star Wars, man.
Yeah. But the other movie, okay, yeah.
Yeah,
it's hard to not go into the next article, but yeah, the other movie is more exciting to me. Personally.
Do you want me to just bring it up now, or do we just?
Yeah, I think that one's just a Twitter post, right? So it's
just an announcement that they believe that the Mangold's movie, The Dawn of the Jedi, is going to be. They can start filming it next year, which means
that's exciting to me.
Which means potentially this could take the spot of that 2026 movie. Which, if that's the case, great.
Mm-hmm.
But now, where's the 2027 movie? Are we going to have somebody in to actually write this race script now? Or,
maybe Lando.
Maybe Lando moves in that slot.
Maybe
it's a possibility, but at the same time, I mean, there's nothing legitimate saying it's going to happen. I'm just to the point now where I'm so sick of the words creative differences. I mean, we hear it for movies, we hear it for TV shows, we hear it for everything. And it's like creative differences one time, I understand. Creative differences twice, I'll still understand. Creative differences for the 14th time in 12 years. What is it that you don't want to come out? in Star Wars.
Too many white men. That's what they don't want.
And I don't. And my thing is, I don't want to go there. But
They do, though. That's the problem, I
But
think.
it
Is
it
they're
that's
more worried about that than they are about storytelling.
but that's the point where I'm saying it's time for a changing of the guard. And if they're
Yeah.
not willing to do that because they're not willing to make anything, then I have to put the blame on Bob Iger at that point. Because I'm sorry, if your intention was just to buy the Star Wars franchise to make your money back and then sit on it and do nothing in perpetuity, then you're gonna have at the end of the day the whole the whole divided franchise community is going to eventually come together and say screw you for not giving us anything at all. Sorry if I'm ranting a little too hard. But I can't help it. It's just I'm
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if Bob Iger really is the guy that really would, you know, be putting himself forward to be like, hey, you're messing up Kathleen Kennedy. I gotta fix this or something. Like, I feel like there's somebody else. He's just the owner.
well, well, he's a CEO, but I mean, there's only one
Yeah.
person that could step in and say, "You gotta go. I've got to bring a new crew in here to take to get this going," and he's the one.
I don't think he is the one at all.
Who would get rid of Kathleen Kennedy?
The person involved with staffing, like
That would
what
be
do they
Bob
call it?
Iger.
No, he's CEO. CEOs don't concern themselves with that. They would delegate that job to somebody that
But at the end of the day,
that is in charge of hiring.
It's his decision to
and
say
firing.
I need somebody new in that position.
Maybe.
The bottom line is Kathleen Kennedy. Every Star Wars fan is sick of hearing about Kathleen Kennedy. She's got to go. She has got to go. Whether it's Bob Iger that has to get rid of her, or because they've already gotten rid of Bob Iger one, right? Brought some other dude in. He didn't do anything for her. He made everything worse. So they brought him back, right? And Kathleen Kennedy was doing her crap before when he was there from before. Like, so it's been going on for so long. Just sick of it. I'm sick of this. I'm sick of it, man. Like, we're all sick of it. All this and I'm with you. All the creative differences, crap. All the butting heads. Like, what the heck is going on in this company that is, making all of these directors and writers and all these people just flee. I don't want anything to do with Lucasfilm anymore. None of this.
And I think is even if 2 or 3 of them were the right decision, the directors or the writers were doing something wrong, and she was totally right to do it. It can't be the case for all of them.
Yeah, and if it was, they wouldn't just say creative differences. They would tell us specifics like they generally do when they actually are in the right. The only time we hear creative differences is when they're trying to hide the reason. So.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
So.
But yeah, I think they're just getting too serious over there, and they need to learn how to open up and have some fun.
This is why Lando's coming in. Lando's taking over the race spot. Watch, that's gonna happen. Having some fun.
I can see it. This is where the fun begins.
No, Donald Glover's coming and taking over for Kathleen Kennedy so that the company can have fun again.
Yeah.
They should bring in Hayden Christensen.
Hold on, I gotta grab some water.
All right.
Yeah, I feel like we're going to continue to go down this rabbit hole if nothing's done with the upper management, that regime of whoever's doing it, whether it's like, yes, Kathleen Kennedy, then the one under her, then the one under her, you know what I mean? Like these we're not going to see anything different until that they clean house. I guarantee you.
I 100% agree with you. And
Guarantee you.
But that's why I'm at the point now where I'm putting on Bob Iger, because he's the one that's got to step in and say, "That's enough. We can't do that. It's time to change this."
I agree. Yeah, Bob Iger's got to do something about it, and I think he's just too soft.
It's like
it's
like either he's too soft about it, he doesn't care at the end of the day because he knows doesn't have much time left. Because I know he wants to retire soon. Or Kathleen Kennedy's really got something on him.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, it's also the fact too, like I mean, yeah, Star Wars has made money, so you know, if you're looking at it from a business standpoint, she's pulling in enough money to keep her in power, you know, or keep her in her position. You know, I don't know what else to tell you. Like there must be something, you know.
That's like at this point in the game, it just feels like now we're just gonna sit on the franchise and we're never gonna do anything else.
Constantly get the Star Wars fans' hopes up and never produce anything that's ever gonna come out.
Yeah, and it's like if that's how it's going to be, then why lead us along on D23s? Why have all these Star Wars celebrations where you're making announcements? Because none of it ever comes true. It's like it's to a point now where, I mean, great, Star Wars Celebration's gonna come around. They'll announce 5 new movies, and I'm gonna be like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, that's true though. They're gonna announce the movies, and then they're gonna be like, "Yep, okay, sure."
Just joking.
Just joking, guys. We're trying to have some fun. We're trying to have some fun here, guys. Just joking.
Like, we're trying to make the franchise fun again.
That's not how you do it, Kathleen. That's not how you have fun, okay? Like,
stop being so serious.
Stop being so serious. We're not being serious. Why so serious?
All right. So, do we want to stop talking? Do we want to stop the rant here, or?
Yeah, let's move on. we can keep talking about Kathleen Kennedy and the state of the Star Wars franchise and all this stuff, because you know what, it's going to keep happening. So we can talk about it again in another podcast.
Episode.
So don't worry about
it. Yeah,
it's going to come back.
It's not going anywhere.
Again and again, and then next year after Star Wars Celebration, it's going to come up again. So I mean, and it's the gift that keeps on giving, guys. It just keeps on giving.
It's sad that it's.
Yeah.
Moving along.
Let's move on to Lego.
Yeah. So
have some fun.
Let's have some fun, guys. And this show is fun.
Yeah, it definitely was. I as one who definitely never really put too much time into the Lego Star Wars. I saw the trailers for this. I was excited for it. I wanted to see it. Which says a lot. But going into this, I'll just throw a couple things in here. All the episodes were written by Dan Hernandez and Benji Samet, and they were all directed by Chris Buckley. Don't know who any of these guys are. They did a great job. So, Lego Star Wars Rebuild the Galaxy. I put in some of the notable voices that we had in the series. Mark Hamill was in as Luke Skywalker. E. Bradley Baker was in as Wicket W. Warwick, and Darth Nubs. Ahmed Best did reprise his role as Jar Jar Binks, or in this case, Darth Jar Jar, that everybody wanted in this world.
Yeah.
Anthony Daniels came back to voice C-3PO. They were actually able to bring in Kelly Marie Tran to be Darth Rose Tico. Billy D. Williams did actually come in and voice the Landalorian.
The Landalorian, yeah.
And then we had Maul, who was voiced as always by Sam Witwer. It was all right. It was good to see all the voices.
There was one more voice that you didn't put in there. So Matthew Wood, who voiced General Grievous.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, okay. Okay, I
also
did miss that. Alright, so let's get into episode
Jedi Vader. That's so funny.
Let's get into episode
Jedi Vader. Oh my goodness. I love it.
Alright, let's get into episode 1 here. You guys want me to read it? You guys read it?
I'll do the first one.
Alright.
So part 1. The nerf herder Sig Griebling lives with his older brother Dev Griebling and their gonk droid Servo. Is this your new gonk droid fan?
Yeah, Servo. Yeah.
Yeah, your new.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's awesome.
your new crush.
My new favorite.
The gonk droid Servo on the pastoral planet of Finessa. While Nev wants to travel the galaxy with his girlfriend Yessi Scala, Sig is content with a quiet life and hides his force powers. Following Ion Storm, the two brothers discover an ancient Jedi temple. Dev dares Sig into using his force powers by removing the cornerstone despite the objections of a cloaked figure. Removing the cornerstone causes the building blocks of the galaxy to get mixed up, with characters, locations, species, and institutions being changed beyond recognition. In the newly reconstituted galaxy, Sig reunites with Yessi, who has no memory of the Griebling brothers and has joined the rebellion. The two are captured by Dev, who has become the Sith Lord, Darth Devastator. They are followed by a mysterious cloaked man who reassures Servo he will rescue Sig and Yessi.
How's it going?
Yeah, Servo was pretty cool though, don't you guys think?
He was a star, man. He was a star.
Absolutely.
He was a star of the show. Absolutely a star. Just
Yeah.
until he's pulled apart. But that's beside the point.
I mean, yeah, like I said, for somebody who never really went into the, I never really cared much for the idea of Star Wars, Lego Star Wars. Just I always thought, hey, it's just a fun thing for kids. I'm nothing for me to really watch. It was an interesting story. It pulled me in right away. It was fun without taking. How do I put it? It was a good time. It didn't take itself too seriously. But yeah, just the idea of the cornerstone and the brothers going up against each other, and it was just a good time. I was really into this. So
Yep. Yeah, there was a lot. I mean, as the episodes went on, there was a lot of really neat and interesting ideas or mix-ups or whatever it was. What was the word that I used? I don't know. I can't find the word now. What the heck? Uh, yeah, I don't know where it went. Oh, reconstituted.
Yeah,
Yes.
newly reconstituted.
Newly reconstituted. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, it was honestly like, and I think I brought this up before, like, but it's an interesting what if play on the Star Wars um galaxy. What if this was that? What if this was that? Like, how Marvel did it with their what ifs or whatever. Um, but it was neat to see some of the characters and some of the surprising characters that popped up. That made it fun and not so serious. Um, I don't know. Like, it's honestly, it's been about a month since I've watched these, so it's kind of it's kind of hard to pinpoint certain things in the episodes. But
Yeah.
I guess that first episode is just the reconstituted galaxy, and
Galaxy. Yeah.
then the episodes start taking off after that. So I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, this is really just a build up, so it
Yeah.
it was fun. I think I remember a little bit more details from other episodes, just because there was more fun.
Yeah.
But it was a perfectly good episode. Like I said, I enjoyed it very much.
Yeah. I think well, for me, I've like watched quite a bit of the Lego stuff just because at one point I was with a girl who had younger kids and I was trying to get them into Star Wars through Lego Star Wars and stuff. So anyways, I know quite a bit of the other shows and I feel like there's like a really, really strong resemblance in from this show to the Freemaker saga,
Yeah.
except for the fact that things aren't getting mixed up. It's just kind of a very similar, like the linear storyline is similar, like where it's the siblings and the building power is exactly the same, like the force building and stuff like that. I feel like Darth Vader kind of had a less vocal role than he normally does in the Lego Star Wars films, but or shows or whatever they are. But yeah, overall, I thought this was pretty fun. And oh yeah, Dev is like a short version for my name personally, so that is also a character that I felt like attached to. Darth Dev, let's go.
Hey man, you can get a Funko Pop made of you. Make
True,
yourself a
true.
Darth Dev
Darth
of
Dev,
yourself. There you
yeah,
go.
that's true. It's true. uh, yeah, we might as well just keep going
Just
through the
keep rolling
episodes
on the
here.
Yeah, this
Or
is
unless Eldor, you have anything more to add there?
no, I don't.
Okay.
Actually, I'm going to step away for 1 second.
Okay. Yeah. All right. All right. Part two. Part two. Darth Devastator and his apprentice Darth Ray torture Sig and Yessi. To save his girlfriend, Sig attempts to give Dev the cornerstone, but the two are rescued by the cloaked man, who reveals himself as Jedi Master Bobarian, a foal. Bob. After
Bob.
escaping Dev's forces, Bob brings Sig and Yessi about the history of the briefs Sig and Yessi about the history of the Cornerstone. Since the Cornerstone is bonded to Sig, Bob trains him to be a Force builder, a Jedi who is who is able to use the Force to build objects. Sig uses his powers to give Servo the ability to speak after escaping Ewok bounty hunters and C-3PO. The four travel to water-covered Tatooine, where they seek out Luke Skywalker at the Mos Eisley Cantina. However, Skywalker, who has become an unscrupulous pod racer, refuses to help. Darth Dev and his Sith followers, including Rey and Darth Jar Jar, track the group down, resulting in a skirmish.
There's so much about that. It's just like a water planet, water
Yeah,
covered Tatooine,
yeah. The
uh,
Ewok bounty
Ewok
hunters.
bounty hunters.
Yeah,
Uh, I mean, this is where we see Darth Jar Jar, which was
yeah.
super
And
cool. He
also we
said some
see that there's
lines.
like a large group of the Sith, kind of like how the
Right.
Jedi were in the Clone Wars era kind of thing,
Yep.
with the lightsabers going everywhere.
Yep. Jedi Bob. Jedi
Yeah,
Bob.
Jedi Bob. Yeah,
Had to say it in a Chicago accent, Jedi Bob.
you should tell that story you were saying before the stream about Jedi Bob
Oh well.
or the
So
factoid or whatever.
yeah. Okay. So Jedi Bob was actually a Lego Jedi Master in one of the Lego kits back, and I think it said 2002 was like part of the Attack of the Clones sort of franchise when they're launching out the Lego stuff. But he was a little character that was on the gunship, one of the gunships with the clone troopers, part of that rescue of all the Jedi's that were down there. But so eventually the fans actually um, gave him the name Jedi Bob, and then eventually, I think they said in 2009 there was a, you know how they make those like encyclopedia, the Star Wars for the character thing.
Oh
They did
yeah.
one for Lego, and he was actually officially named Jedi Bob in that directory or that encyclopedia. So he actually became a thing, and then it's just cool that the character was kind of created by the fans. That's
Yeah, through
right.
through fan fiction to some
Yeah,
degree. That's very
yeah.
cool. Very cool.
Um,
I think since Eldor is Eldor is not back, I just want to go back and kind of mention about the writers because we kind of like glazed over it a little
oh
bit. I
yeah,
just wanted to give a second to just say who these people are. So Dan Hernandez and Benji Samit seems like they pretty much have worked together through their entire careers because their credentials are almost identical. So they must be like partners in writing. So their credits include 1600 Pen, Super Fun Night, One Day at a Time, The Tick, George Lucas Talk Show, Central Park, Ultraviolet and Black Scorpion, Koala Man, and Lego Star Wars Rebuild the Galaxy. And yeah, like I said, the two of them, like they're almost identical for their credits. So they kind of, must be partners of some sort. And then Christopher Buckley is a little bit of older than the two of them and has like a much bigger repertoire, but mostly known for writing God is My Broker, Thank You for Smoking, Little Green Men, The White House Mess, No Way to Treat a First Lady, Wet Work, Florence and Arabia, uh, Broomsday, Supreme Courtship, and a couple others. Also served as the chief speechwriter to George Bush and political satirist and stuff like that. So he's kind of like more of an old school guy, but yeah, I'd say he was probably the senior writer, and then the other two are the more like active in the industry currently. So yeah. Anyways, just wanted to
interesting.
touch on that before we continue on.
Well, you always have to bring up the writers and directors, and
Mhm.
they're the important. They're important. They're important. They're part of this.
Yeah.
Um, trying to
Eldor,
see.
you're back.
Yes.
All right, so we just read the part two. We were talking about um, the introduction of Darth Jar Jar and the Ewok bounty hunters and the water covered Tatooine and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think the thing that caught me the most, I really had the most fun with the whole idea of Luke Skywalker being kind of almost like a surfer dude.
Yeah,
I
yeah, he
mean,
was pretty funny.
And well, then he doesn't he go through like a whole like because I think Sig brings up as he's sitting at the table, and Sig brings up what Luke Skywalker and everything that happened in his galaxy, and
Right,
then
yeah.
Luke Skywalker like plays through, and he's like, that's all weird, man. Like,
Yeah, he's like, that sounds awful. No, thank you.
awful. Like, no thanks.
Yeah, that was funny.
But I mean, other characters, the Akbar clone troopers, they popped up when the clone troopers came out, and you're like, oh, the clone troopers, and they take off their helmets, and they're like, it's a trap,
It's a trap. It's a trap.
I was like, oh, it's hilarious.
Yeah, that's a recurring joke from the Lego stuff too. Whenever Akbar's on there, that's all he ever says. It's a trap. It's a trap.
That's great.
What else? I mean, there's everything's changed. Like, everything's changed. Like, I think one of the things is like everything's reversed. Like the rebellion is using the Empire logo, and the Empire's using the rebellion logo.
Yeah, and the rebels have the
X-wing fighters, or X fighters.
Yeah, X-wing TIE fighters, if I recall correctly.
X-wing TIE fighters, yeah. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of stuff, man. Like, you'd have to, like, my brain is not picking up probably half the stuff in this. Like, there's characters.
Yeah,
characters
I can't
that
remember
died
what was
in the actual galaxy is alive in this galaxy. Like,
yeah. What was Palpatine again? I feel like it showed him a few times. He's kind of one of the.
He was kind of like the head.
Jedi.
He was like the head Jedi.
Oh yeah, he was a Jedi. That's right.
Jedi.
That's right.
Yeah. And it's like him. It's him. I don't think it's in this episode though. I think it's
Yeah,
another
okay,
episode.
different one. Yeah.
But it's pretty much him, Jedi Vader, Jedi Jabba Hutt,
Right.
Jedi, like all these Jedis that are like all bad guys, right? But they're all good guys.
Yeah, Count Dooku was one of them.
Dooku, yeah, Count Dooku's one of them.
Yeah, yeah, even Maul was good, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think Maul they were unsure of,
the
and then
Maul one. Yeah,
but that was a bit later, I
that
think
was funny
too.
though.
Yeah.
That was funny. He pops out of the ship, and he's just like, like, and it's just funny. It's Sam Witwer, like, and doing his voice, right? Like, it's hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the several Sith. So in this one, the Sith track down, like Sig and the group or whatever it is. But part of that group is so you had Darth Rose Tico, you had Darth Nubs, you had Darth Kit Fisto, you had Darth Rusty, Darth Jawa, and Darth Jar Jar.
Yeah.
And they exit the Dark Falcon.
Oh yeah, that Dark Falcon is
Falcon.
Lego set available now, by the way.
Oh, is it? That's cool.
Yeah, that's why I actually want to get one of those.
Yeah, I was gonna say I could see that one being pretty popular. It was pretty cool looking.
I mean, the one other thing is, I know because they did have a Darth Ray as well, and I do like the idea that they went back and when they went and actually did Darth Ray, they actually went back to. Even though I'm not a fan of Rise of Skywalker, but they went back and they pulled out her double lightsaber for that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, the switchblade double lightsaber thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one of the Funko Pops I recently got. The Darth,
oh, is it? Yeah. You showed
Side Ray. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Deadly.
Yeah. I'm just trying to pull stuff. I'm on Wikipedia here, just trying to. There's a more detailed like play by play with the story, right? So I'm just trying to like pick things out of this episode that were interesting. Like Luke Skywalker, he's pod racing, so he's pod racing on the water, not on the sand. It's
it's true.
A watery Tatooine, right? But like with all the like, so some characters that died, I guess. What's his face there? Porkins, he's alive in this galaxy.
There could be nothing wrong with that.
No, no, nothing at all. What else? The Rebel base is on Corellia.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I think that's the actually.
Well, I'm just reading it from there. Yeah,
Yeah,
Um,
I
think
do.
I think
I
it
do
was
remember
the
whenever they like showed those kind of things, they kind of were like, "Oh, also this is
Yeah.
here."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They kind
Yeah.
of like are like shoving it in your face, so that's like, "Hey, check it out. This is different."
I mean, we got the Ewok bounty hunters. Obviously, we knew that.
Yeah.
But Starship is flown. So there's a new Naboo Royal Starship, gold colored instead of silver colored, and that's flown by the C-3PO, who has become a bounty hunter. So the red-eyed C-3PO.
Yeah.
Which
we already did have in the what was that where they like in the sequels where
that was a Rise of Skywalker.
Rise of
But he
Skywalker
wasn't a
where
bounty hunter. He wasn't a bounty
no,
hunter.
he was
He
reading
was a bounty
Sith
hunter.
text or whatever.
Yeah.
But
I guess yeah. So Max Rebo was a pod racer as well.
oh
So
yeah,
instead
that's
of
right.
being
That's right. Yeah.
he was a pod racer.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there was also the in A New Hope where Baba and that Cornelius Evanson, where he cuts off the Ponda's arm, or Sig rubs stroke Dr. Cornelius Evazan and Ponda Baba, who say they like him.
That's right.
I don't think he likes you. I don't like you.
You'll be dead.
They say the opposite. Oh, watch out. You'll be dead. Yeah. Upon learning about the Skywalker's clashes. Yeah. So Sig explains Skywalker's story in the old galaxy, and he just he goes, "Oh no, I don't like any of that. I don't want to help you out."
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm just trying to fish things out of here. You guys are gonna keep go on to the next one, but I just looking for interesting tidbits in the really large synopsis, or actually
I'll read
play
the
by
next
play.
one. What are we on, part 3?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, so part 3 of the episode of this. Sig and his companions escape with the help of Luke Skywalker, who has experienced a change of heart. The group seek out a group of hidden Jedi, including Palpatine, Jedi Vader, Jabba, Janna, and Count Dooku, who reluctantly agree to help Sig meditate so that he can locate the Force Builder Temple on Dagobah. That's right, it was Dagobah. All right. The group are joined by Rebellion General Leia, her lover Greedo, and Han Solo. I remember that too. Sig and his companions travel aboard Greedo and Solo's Slave One to Dagobah. While Sig and Bob want to return the Cornerstone to the Force Builder Temple, Jesse wants to rescue several imprisoned rebel comrades, including Yoda, Grievous, and Mace Windu. However, Jesse's group is betrayed by Solo, who is Dev's secret spy, and jealous that Leia chose Greedo over him. At the temple, Bob admits that the Cornerstone is unable to restore the previous galaxy, having accidentally undone his own galaxy as well. Dev confronts Sig and Bob. After Dev disintegrates Servo,
Rip.
or Grom, Sig surrenders the Cornerstone in return for Dev sparing Jedi Bob. Don't call me Jedi Bob.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is where everything really got going. It was really. I loved this part. Just seeing the Vader and seeing Vader in all white was pretty funny.
Yeah.
But
Well,
yeah,
just seeing that whole bundle. Like it's like you got Vader, you got Jabba, Cad Bane, IG-88, Janna, Dooku, Jedi Master Palpatine. Like
Yeah, and like Palpatine, he's kind of one of the I was trying to say this before. He's one of the like main actors of the Lego shows in general. Like he's essentially the
yeah,
sort of the comedian of the
he talks a
the
lot.
thing.
Yeah, he
He
talks
talks
a
a
lot.
lot. So
Yeah.
I was glad when he came into it because I was like, yeah, this is the dude. The dude. Nothing like Palpatine in like actual Star Wars, but probably my favorite Lego Star Wars character, I would say.
nice.
So it was good for him to see him in that one, and I was like, yeah, Palpatine, let's go. But yeah, like you said, all those Jedi, that was cool to see, and the Greedo thing, that was hilarious too.
And then we see Maul in this one, right? This is the episode we see
Is this the
Maul.
one?
Yeah, I believe it is.
I'm pretty sure. Or he just
Oh,
pops
yeah.
out of the ship or something, and
Also, one thing that I drew a comparison to in this show, because, like, honestly, I found none of the writing particularly original, because I read a lot of fantasy novels, or did when I was younger, and it was kind of like, other than, like, everything being flipped around from Star Wars universe, like, the actual story itself is kind of like word for word exactly some of the other fantasy novels that I've read. So, like Shannara, it's a handful of trilogies. They have this thing where there's the two siblings. They're like one's light, one's dark, and then they have the same inherent power, and but it's opposite. And yeah, anyways, it's kind of the drew a lot of similarities for me.
I don't. It's like I said. To me, this was just a fun ride. I'm not going into it expecting overly compelling story that it needs to be added to the canon or anything like that. I just know that going in, it's gonna be a fun ride, and just sit there, enjoy it for a couple hours, and it's not technically meant for me, but I could enjoy it nonetheless.
Mhm. Yeah, honestly, I'm kind of jealous that you haven't seen Star Wars stuff because not having seen Star Wars or Star Wars Lego, I mean, a lot of the recurring jokes that were like honestly less funny unless you're a young kid would be funny because it's the first time you're seeing it. You know what I mean?
But at the same time, it kind of it also kind of whets your appetite a little bit. It's like, this was pretty good. Maybe some of the other stuff is pretty good too. Maybe I'm gonna go check that stuff out. So,
Yeah. Yeah,
I
when you
mean,
do, you'll probably notice some of those things that I was, or if you do, you'll probably notice some of those things I was talking about where it's like, oh yeah, that's the same joke they made in the other one, you know?
yeah. So it gets me at least to that point where I could look at it, I could say, hey, all right, this was pretty good. Maybe I am missing out on watching the other stuff. So at some point, I probably will check all the other stuff out now because Zephyr's
yeah.
is going over there.
Huh?
I'm trying to catch up on what the doc is saying here.
Oh yeah, Doctor Zeppa's keep posting stuff right away, man. He says he's high as a kite, but keep going. Right,
You want to
right a story, man.
Actually, hey, true words, Doc. If you want to clear a room, put the acolyte on.
Yeah. Or even just the song, the um, Power of Many.
Oh yes, please.
Yeah, I don't know
I
if
could
you
see
guys.
that working pretty well.
I don't know if you guys ever watch. Um, Getting back to our Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes roots, but if any of you guys watch Arnold anymore,
No.
Yeah, a little bit.
Well,
little bit.
he actually, that's one of the songs, he actually adapted that song and he uses that while he's playing, while he's doing Grand Arena runs, and it's like, oh, jeez. It's like, all right, yeah, I'll come back in a
Man.
couple. I'll come back in a couple minutes when that's over. Just mute you out for a couple seconds there.
Yeah, anything that's cringe, he loves it, eh? That guy.
I mean, whatever makes you happy, I guess.
Yeah.
Anyway, um, shall we move on to the final episode here, or
Yeah,
I'll
go ahead.
I'll read that one if you want.
all right?
All right, so part 4. Aboard his flagship separator, Dev forces Sig, which is, that's what his power is. He's the force unbuilder. I don't know. I can't remember what they call it. But anyways, Dev forces
Sith Breaker.
Breaker. Yeah, Breaker.
Breaker.
Yeah. Anyways, Dev forces Sig to use the cornerstone to activate the warship's super laser, which destroys and recreates their home world of Vanessa as a green pastoral world. Dev invites his younger brother Sig to combine their powers and rule the galaxy together. Sig rejects his older brother's overtures, while Rey and the other Sith stage a coup d'etat against their Sith Lord. Sig and Bob take advantage of the coup and escape into space. On Dagobah, Yessi and Greedo escape the prison and use the stolen Dark Falcon to turn the tables on Solo and the Akbar troopers. Leia's rebels, Palpatine's Jedi, Yessi's group, and C-3PO and the Ewok mercenaries launch an attack on Dev's fleet. Above Vanessa, during the space battle, Dev unleashes the separator's super laser, which causes heavy casualties. Sig and Bob defeat Dev during a climatic duel and reclaim the cornerstone. Dev escapes the battle with his surviving fleet. On Dagobah, Sig restores the cornerstone to the Force Builder Temple and buries the temple together with Yessi and a rebuilt Servo. Yes, Servo's back. The Force Builders travel to the planet of Alistan Nor to continue Sig's training. Meanwhile, Darth Rey and Darth Rose Tico hire the Landolorian and Grogu to hunt down Sig.
Yes. Landalorian. And it's Billy D, man. It's crazy.
I was like, everything flipped except for Grogu? That's kind of weird.
He'll probably be able to talk, to be honest. We'll
Yeah,
see.
he'll probably be the charismatic one, and
He'll
Lando's just like,
probably be the
Abba
top guy.
Bubba.
Yeah.
That would be
Yes, we did say
hilarious.
Darth Rose Tico. Yes, we did.
Yes. Darth Rose Tico, that's right. That's right. Voiced by Kelly Marie Tran. Tran? Yeah, Tran.
I'm glad to see they brought her back for it. I mean,
Yeah. She suffered a lot from Star Wars fans after those sequel or during those sequels. So yeah, let's give her as much work and love as we can, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, great end, great to a lot of great to see. It was great to see them make use of some of the different worlds. We got to see Tatooine.
Yeah, wasn't there a thing where they showed Hoth and it was hot or something?
Yeah, that was funny.
What, the Mustafar planet was actually like that was Hoth? Was
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was it.
Hoth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was funny.
I thought the Jedi Bob character was actually hilarious.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, not much bad I can say about. Nothing bad at all to say about.
Nothing bad at all, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, the only thing I would say bad is the story wasn't original. Like it's like I was saying, it definitely was like I knew exactly what was going to happen at all times, but other than that, I thought it was very fun.
But did you know that the conch was going to get rebuilt? That's the question.
Yeah. Yeah, I did.
He's like, deep
Yeah.
down, yes, I did.
He had plot armor. They gave him a voice, so
Fair enough. Fair enough.
You had faith.
I
yeah.
had to
Once I
ask.
gave
I
him a
had to
voice,
ask.
I'm like, oh yeah, he's gonna something bad will happen, but he'll be back.
Yeah, that's definitely it, Zeph.
That's why he doesn't have a camera. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he would outshine us. That's
Yeah,
right.
he would. Us Canadian boys here.
Yeah.
New dude to boot it.
That's all good. Oh man. All right. So, any last thoughts or anything else you guys want to add in?
Nope. Just glad to be back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Glad to be back as well.
Happy to be back at it myself.
Oh, I do have one thing to add in when we do the wrap up when we get there.
Okay. Well, I'm actually going to start it now. So.
Okay. All right. Well, I just want to add something non-Star Wars, non-Star Wars related, just as a kind of thing at the end here. Just wanted to mention we lost a legend in the hip hop world, DJ Clark Kent, who brought us Jay-Z, Nas, and Notorious B.I.G. Rest in peace. He passed away yesterday, so I just wanted to, send some love out there in the galaxy to anybody, condolences to his family and stuff like that.
Excellent. I didn't even.
He's like, how Dr. Dre he's kind of like a more silent producer, but you know how Dr. Dre brought us Eminem and 50 Cent, all those kind of guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, he's like the guy who brought us Jay-Z, Biggie, and Nas. So yeah, pretty huge silent producer out there. So
yeah,
rest in peace to him.
A lot of great producers in hip hop that are gone now that I loved, and I remember I've heard of Clark Kent, but I didn't know he passed away.
Yeah, it just happened like yesterday, or the day before. So
yeah, definitely my condolences to him.
Yeah.
With that unfortunate sad note, we're going to call this our 15th episode of the Shadow Collective Star Wars podcast. It's good to be back, like everybody said. We've been gone for almost a couple months now, which has been unfortunate. But we've got ourselves together. We're back in the fold, and hopefully
we're back, baby.
We're back.
We're gonna get back to it.
It's working.
To those of you that were here today to do this with us live, thank you for stopping by. We're always happy to have you here. To those that are going to watch on YouTube, definitely, whether it's YouTube, Spotify, or actually those are really neat. Or actually here on Twitch, get a chance, drop a like, subscribe, give us a follow, so we know what we're doing is keeping you guys happy. And outside of that, if you get a chance, join our Discord. I mean, the links are all over the place. I don't know if we have the link on Spotify, but I know we have it on the YouTube page. Definitely here on Twitch. But you come in, you're always glad to chat with you guys. And at the same time, if you have any recommendations for things that we might want to try doing on this podcast, we're always open to that as well. I know we're having a great time, but hey, there's always room for adding stuff along the way. With that being said, um, thank you.
Make sure you
Thank you.
hit that like, follow, subscribe, comment, share, all those things. It helps the channel grow and helps us to know that you guys are enjoying what we do here. So yeah, do it.
Exactly. That being said, Mr. Swampgrass, where can we find you, my friend?
So I'm on Twitch. I used to say every day, but now it's a little bit less because life has been, kind of pulling me away from streaming here and there. But as much as I can be, uh, on Twitch at twitch.tv/swampgrass420, playing Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes and Marvel Strike Force, and just having a good time in general.
All right, Andy, how about you, my friend?
I am also on Twitch. You can find me Thursday nights, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, and Saturday morning, 7 a.m. Eastern Time. Very early for some people. And that is twitch.tv/Andy_Beads. And we do Marvel Snap on my channel. So come watch me play some. And make sure to bring a beverage because I often drink beverages on stream. So.
Nice. And I am Darth Eldor. Also find me on twitch.tv/Darth_Eldor. I play Galaxy of Heroes, and in the last little bit, I've come along and I've started playing. Last couple weeks, I've started playing a little EVE Online, just trying something a little different, and it's been a lot of fun. So it's something I might continue along the way as well. So catch me. I'm gonna say my schedule's been a little more erratic. I mean, I'm either on. Sometimes I'm on at night. Sometimes I'm on during the day. But I've been on at least 3 to 4 times a week lately, and I'm having a good time with it. So definitely come check me out, and we'll definitely have some great conversations. With that being said, hey, it's another episode. We'll be back hopefully in a couple weeks with episode 16 for season 2. Once again, check us out. Check us out on Spotify and YouTube to check some of the old episodes out. And we'll see you soon. The Force will be with you.